All right, what are we looking at? Let's recap August 7th session. Going from ETH August 6th, what happened? We had the bull case play out. We did not get that basing down here, but we got quickly support in the dead zone for NQ, which is an options implied pivot converted over to NQ, and we were getting support. We were challenging these imprints from the hourly and the daily time frame. And throughout the night, as we challenged those imprints and oscillated between them or consolidated between them, we maintain that long target, which oftentimes indicates further continuation. And we got that into the night. I'm going to start reformatting these levels so that you can see a little bit clearer the difference between ETH and RTH. But we had this push over to the median range. Remember, 90% of sessions, at least the top or the bottom median range levels get hit. Over 90% of sessions. Buyers were in control. They went for that median target. And we peaked out up here. I didn't get to update levels here at RTH. I was very busy today. But we pushed down. It's a little bit clear why we pushed down on ES, but we pushed down, and I want you to zoom in. Pay attention to these pre-market analyses. Yesterday, we had this. I had written in this 83% high at or above. So high of day is 83% chance it's going to be above that level, and I had 50% chance low of day at or below. So you could just kind of contextualize that and say, okay, boom, overnight session, high of day already set in. Boom, that's above that level. Now, it doesn't immediately tell you to reverse, but when you get this context from what happened in ETH, it helps you understand what's going on. Let's look at ES. ES tends to be uh, more reliable because of the liquidity and the data behind it. But what do we see here? Immediate support off of hourly imprints, which was super snipey. Bottom of the yellow box, we pushed up, and then we found support at the long target. Again, these long targets, if you find support above them, it's indication of continuation. Challenging hourly imprints, last lines of defense is important imprints, and we pushed up again median range, and we kept pushing to some ETH levels where we had some 10% bands up here. Outlier moves started to come into play, reversals. So that means 90% of the time, price reverses from here on the 15-minute time frame, according to the Wave 10 analysis. Buyers couldn't sustain this. I wrote these notes in RTH. If they wanted to keep a trend day, they needed to keep that there. Well, they lost it, and we pushed down very aggressively for this spliced Thursday over Thursday 50% band probability. And this was here. See, if you notice yesterday's pre-market analysis, I had updated this number from 100 to 80%, but 100% high at or above across 40 sessions data. And this was the same 97.5% low of day at or below. Look at this amazing stuff from the fractal. High of day up here, low of day 97.5. And everybody up here is saying, oh, we're going to go parabolic. And the spread monster said, no, keep out for a reversal. And we got that. Super aggressive. Super nice. All right, next day. I'm changing the formatting, so making it a little bit clearer, dividing stuff between ETH and RTH. What are we looking at? I did not update this. Let me hide that. What are we looking at? Dead zone. It's a pivot again on NQ. High of day, 79% is at or above 540. There's going to be resistance here during ETH at the top of this yellow box and daily time frame resistance. So on the daily, there's going to be resistance up here. So quite a bit of resistance, but for long targets, don't expect crazy parabolic beyond this. Easy targets if you get in a long. Right here, don't bag hold. Um, if we find a break above this and support above this red zone, target the median range. But you're going to face another resistance here at 670. And again, if we start floating and floating and floating with maybe some crazy news, this is super hard resistance. Very aggressive moves above, but this is super hard, both overnight ceiling and weekly ceiling. If we break through, maybe whatever, world peace or something, this is a target, 23,900. All right. What's the converse? The converse is if we start resisting here, pushing down, then I'm expecting for us easy daily target 23,436. Breaking through that, or in RTH, sellers will start wanting 410. And definitely 90%, 97% low of day at or below 23,400. Easy target. It's favoring the downside. And so take this into account. It's favoring the downside. PML reversions are, I wouldn't be surprised. We open up around here and get a PML reversion with these targets ready to rock and roll. If sellers are aggressive tomorrow, they want 279, 182, and then we have the converse of the upside hard resistance. We have hard support. If we get beyond this, beyond the floor, we're getting a phenomenon called positive exposure, but down to almost 23,000. On ES, similar situation. I don't have the yellow box in yet, but if we find support upon these vectors, 6360s, easy target 6382. If we continue to float Friday over Friday, splice targets at 6400 essentially, this median range. So we keep floating and we're not pushed down by these resistances, which you could probably equate this daily time frame to 6380s on ES. We'll push to 6400. But this is important resistance, 6420 to 26. Buyers are aggressive. They want 6444 and outlier targets for a nice green day, 6476 to 83. Friday over Friday targets, 6487. So you can find perhaps resistance here, move back down. Where to where? Sellers, easy target, 6356, 95% low of days at or below 6354. So you could hold, or you could just be content, 6356.25, get out, or leave some runners to important support. If that breaks through, sellers are quite in control and they will aggressively target 6334, but be met with a lot of buyers at 6330 to 33. And if we get some news, world's coming to an end. Easy, 6290 for aggressive sellers. Outlier targets, 6250s. And if we break below that, then you should be in. So, hope that helps. Have a great day. Exercise risk management.